What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys had an awesome week, and hopefully today will be a start to a great weekend for you guys. We have a pretty big NBA slate that we're going to talk about. I'm going to go over some money line plays as well as some of my favorite player props from these games, so make sure you guys stick around to the end to get every single one of these. Looking at yesterday's picks, yesterday was an okay day. It was kind of mid on player props, pretty decent for money lines, hit 2 of the 3 money lines that I posted. I did see some comments yesterday asking about the recap, so I'm going to be honest, guys. I've been doing recaps like every other video. I didn't know if everybody likes to see it or not. Some people kind of complain about it, but I'll show it since you guys are asking. This is from the last couple of days. A lot of college basketball. Right here's a college basketball slip on Prizepicks, 100 for 300. College basketball has been very, very good to us, so hopefully we can continue that. I will say, guys, parlay play has been my worst app in like the last week. Like, usually parlay play is one of the better ones. Parlay play has struggled lately, so I apologize for some of these slips I've been splitting. Split both free picks yesterday. Unlucky on that. We had a DNP or an injury on one of them that wasn't DNP because he got hurt in the second half, and then we had another one which was fantasy score for Drake May that just couldn't cash. We did have Sixers money line the other day. Right here, I put $200 on it. You can see it cashed. Nuggets and Knicks cashed. We had a Butler Wagner play. I showed some of these, I think, in the video. I'm not real sure. Derek White and Butler played the Raptors last night. Spread 201 324. This one was I played a 10.5 point spread. Played it a little bit safer. I almost took Raptors money line. Didn't think they'd beat a healthy Cavs, but they come out there and beat them, man. The Raptors are looking pretty dang good this season. Sorry, I had to make sure I wasn't sure what my dog was doing. Anyways, had the Hawks money line last night that cashed us. Some other plays from the last couple of days that we hit. This right here was a college basketball play, 100 for 265. So lots of slips hit. Hopefully we can continue to do this. I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. So if you guys do want to have a chance at free VIP, I do this in every single video. If this video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down below to win a free month. So drop a comment, leave a like on the video. You do have to be subscribed to win. Let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday is going to be for Def Nick, who said, I said the same thing, taking the day off. Yeah, yesterday's slate was ugly, man. Even NFL was just ugly as well. Like, I know the game stayed decently competitive. I'm not going to say it was ugly. There were definitely some props you could get there. Brees Hall cashed us out. The punts for Patriots that were pushed, which cashed us. But some of the other things, like Drake May just couldn't get another passing TD. Needed one passing TD, probably would have cashed his fantasy score, but unfortunately just couldn't get it. But regardless, Def Nick, send me a message on Discord, my man. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP, and I do appreciate the love and support. If you guys do want to join our Discord, the Discord is free to join. You can also join our WAP and get every single pick that I personally post. You do not have to tell all of them. You will get a list. I can show you guys kind of how a list works. So what I do is I run my 5 to 7 slips or whatever, and every single prop that comes on the slips, I'll end up putting on a daily playlist. Sometimes I run 4-man, sometimes I don't. Here's the 4-man, or here's the list from the 12th, so from 2 days ago. Yesterday's hasn't been updated yet, but player props on the NBA looking really, really good. Pairings sometimes aren't the best, but we're cashing majority of them. If we can get the pairings perfectly, we'd be having some really, really good days every single day. But all that's in the Discord. If you guys do want to join, links down in the description. Code NBA gets you 20% off right now. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. With all that being said, the last thing I'm going to say before we jump into these picks is if you guys do want a free month of our VIP, you can sign up by you can get a free month by signing up for any partnered app down in the description. Parlay Play, Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Novig, Better, Dabble, or Thunder Pick. Any of those 8 apps get you a free month. You get up to 8 full months for free. Just let me know. They all give you deposit matches. They all give you a free month of VIP. They all have certain types of free squares and things they give you. So just let me know if you sign up on Discord, and I'll get you guys added for that free month for each one that you do sign up for. So let's go ahead and talk about these games, guys. So I'm not going to talk about every single game today. I'm going to talk about the games that I think are decent enough to put money on or to either get player props from. And we got some ugly games, so it's not going to be every game by any means. But first game we have is going to be the Heat versus the Knicks. I think this game is going to be pretty competitive. Now, looking at this, both teams are missing some players. The Knicks are minus 200 favorites at home, a 5.5 point spread with a 238.5 point total. Majority of the money right now is on the Knicks. It's almost a 50-50 split on the spread. But 68% of the money on the Knicks for straight up money line. Looking at these two teams, both teams looking pretty decent this season. Both have over a 500 record. The Heat had coming off of a loss versus the Cavs. They beat the Cavs and then ended up losing to the Cavs in the next game. Both games were very, very close. Looking at the Knicks just lost at home versus the Magic. The Magic beat them 124-107. Wasn't a super close game. Before that, they were on a 5-game win streak. Lineup-wise, Heat are missing Bam, missing Hero, Rozier still in jail. And then if you look at the Knicks are missing Brunson, and then they have McCullough, who is questionable. So the Knicks right now without Brunson, it's pretty big loss, obviously. Towns, Anunoby, and Bridges are probably going to be the ones that step it up, in my opinion. I'm liking Anunoby in this matchup. Mikal Bridges just hadn't really showed me too much this season in terms of stats for me to want to play him. But in terms of OG, our man OG's looking pretty dang good, man. I like this matchup for OG, so I'll probably be playing some OG. Towns is obviously Towns. Towns can have a pop-off game whenever, but he's hard to – he gets a little bit lazy and he can get in foul trouble early. So Towns worries me slightly just for those reasons. But regardless, guys, for winner – I'm probably going to run with the Knicks on this one. I'm probably not going to put money on them unless I parlay them. But the Knicks, I think, are the better team even without Brunson, especially with all the injuries for the Heat. But the Heat have kept it close with some teams I didn't think they would. They beat the Cavs, man. I didn't think they were going to beat the Cavs with all these injuries either. So the Heat have been a sleeper team so far, kind of like the Bucks. So I do think the Knicks still win, but I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think this game could be good for player props. I like Norman Powell and possibly Wiggins from the Heat side of things. Next game we have is the Nets Magic. I'm skipping this one. It's got too high of a total or too high of a spread. I'm just not going to touch it. Nets have looked a little bit rough lately. The next game we have is the Sixers versus the Pistons. This is going to be in Detroit. Right now, Detroit is minus 194 favorites, 5.5 point spread with a 231.5 total. Majority of the money right now is on the Sixers right now. 62% of the money on Sixers money line, 54% of the money on the Detroit covering the spread. Total 53%, pretty much a 50-50 split. Both teams looking good. 64% win rate for the Sixers, coming off of a dub versus the Celtics. And then if you look at the Pistons, man, the Pistons are on an 8-game win streak. They have looked phenomenal, man. They just won a game versus the Bulls without Cade and without Jalen Duren. So suffering some possible injuries and possible players missing tonight. If you look at this, Edgecombe is questionable for Philly, and then they're missing Embiid and Paul George still. If you look at Detroit, Cade Cunningham questionable. Jalen Duren is questionable. Tobias Harris is out. Jaden Ivey's still out. Isaiah Stewart's questionable. Oscar Thompson's still out. If Cunningham and Duren get ruled out, this is a Sixers money line for me all day. Now, I kind of wonder if the Pistons are willing to kind of throw away their 8-game win streak right now. They might see how far they can take this. So I don't really want to put money on the Sixers just yet, just because they might play their starters to try to keep this win streak going. Now, I know they sat the last game versus the Bulls. I think this Phillies team's a little bit more dangerous than a Bulls team without Giddey. So I'm just going to say that. So pay attention. We'll see if Cade Cunningham practices any today or warms up or anything like that, and see if he gets if we can get some potential news before it's actually released, because last week he wasn't in warm-ups or anything, so with early shoot-around or whatever like that. So they were able to we were able to kind of rule him out without him being ruled out. So I'm paying attention to that today in the Discord. I'm wanting to run Philly money line if Cade sits, if Jalen Duren and Cade sits for sure, but they're plus 200 right now. So you can get very, very good value. So if we think he's going to sit, maybe it's better to lock him in early and hope for the best, because even fully healthy, the Sixers are a good team, man. They have a chance at winning in Detroit. But this Pistons team, I'm not going to lie, been one of my favorite teams of the season in terms of being a good team. Like, the Pistons have looked really, really good this season, so I can't sleep on them at all. Next game is going to be Bucks-Hornets. I'm fading this one. LaMelo's probable. Giannis is probable. You don't know how many minutes either are going to get, but I'm just going to fade this one altogether. I might play some props on it, but in terms of betting money on the money line, I'm going to be fading it. Lakers-Pelicans, going to fade the money line on this one. It's a 400 plus 400 underdogs, minus 400 favorites, and the 9.5 spread. Not really much we can do this on this one unless we do a total. I do think the total could potentially go over on this one, so maybe over on the total. 40% of the money's on the over, so most people see it going under. I don't know that I agree with that, so we'll see on that one. Then we got Trailblazers Rockets. This is the next good game in my opinion. They got the Rockets minus 300 favorites at home. Houston is minus 8.5 on the spread with a 235.5 total. Public betting has 52% of the money on the Rockets, and then 53% of the money on the Rockets covering the spread. 72% of the money on an over or on the under on the total. Both teams looking good this season. Trailblazers coming off a win versus the Pelicans. Before that, they were on a 2-game loss streak versus Miami and versus the the Magic. As of the Rockets, they're looking freaking dominant, man. They have won, 7 of their last 8 games. Only game lost coming to the Spurs in San Antonio. Not many injuries we have to look at too much right now on both sides of things. Portland's missing some players. Nothing new. If you look at Houston, Van Vliet and Smith out. Nothing new. So Rockets team's better, in my opinion. Portland team is not anybody that's going to roll over. They're a good team, and they're doing pretty good this season. So I'm obviously I have the Rockets winning the game at home, but in terms of keeping the game close, I think this game could be okay for player props. I like Sengun in this matchup. Durant's been popping off, but I'm not going to be putting any money on Durant as of lately. So Durant's on my no-go right now. Maybe Denny Avdia could be a good one, but anyways, definitely some potential in this game. Next game is going to be Timberwolves versus the Kings. Don't think this is going to be a good one for bets in terms of money lines or anything, but in terms of player props, I think we could get some value here. I like Sabonis in this matchup if it stays close. I will say they just played. It was a blowout win the last game they played versus Minnesota, 144-117, and that was at home for the Kings. So today they're playing in Minnesota. Makes it a little bit scary to have to go for the Kings in this one at all. So I am going to kind of fade this one a little bit. I'm not going to play much on it. Sabonis might be the only player that I play in this game. So just throwing that out there. You can get Sabonis at what? PRA maybe 27.5 or something like that. That'd be about the highest I would take him, maybe 29.5, maybe. Yeah, I could play the 29.5 and be comfortable with it, but odds are if it is a blowout, he's not getting 30, so just throwing it out there. Next game, Clippers, Mavs. Clippers, I can't trust for anything. Mavericks, I'm going to take the win this one at home because I'm thinking maybe AD plays tonight. They are questionable. You can look at this team. It's plus 140 underdogs for Dallas at home. PJ Washington and AD both are questionable. Obviously, the Clippers are missing Bradley Beal and Kawhi Leonard. If we can get Lively, PJ, and AD to play, then I definitely like this Dallas team in this one. I think the Clippers, without those players, are the better team. But I can't put money on the Clippers anyway. If AD gets ruled in, I'll take the Mavs, honestly. But if AD doesn't play, then I'm not going to play anything on this game because the Clippers I'm not betting on, man. 3-8, they look terrible. Their freaking coach is an idiot and pulls them randomly. I'm just not playing anything on this because I get a little bit sketched out by that Clippers team. So just throwing that out there. Last game of the slate we have is the Warriors taking on the Spurs. I like this game, and I'm just going to say it before anything. I'm taking the Spurs to win minus 140 at home. Both teams are good. Yes, Golden State can win. I'm not saying the Spurs are just a better team than Golden State. I am not saying that, but they have looked really, really good. Golden State's been hit or miss. They're 7-6. The Spurs are 8-3. Spurs at home minus 140. You're not getting too bad a value there. Minus 3.5 point spread, a 234.5 point total. 68% of the money is on the Spurs. 92% of the money is on the Spurs to cover the spread. So maybe they chalk the spread and then cover the money line. Who knows? But I could see this game being close. If you look at the Warriors, they just beat the Spurs 125-120, and that was in San Antonio. So they're coming off their first win on the road in a while. So we're going to hit this Golden State on the road versus the Spurs at home. Golden State's only won 2 of their, 8 games on the road? Like, they have not looked good on the road, man. They just got their last win. The Spurs have looked phenomenal. That's their only loss this season at home. Playing again at home, man, I don't think they're going back-to-back losses against Golden State at home. That's what I don't think that's going to happen here. If you look at Golden State is does have a questionable Kuminga. Nothing else really we need to worry about. The Spurs not missing anybody other than Dylan Harper, so nothing really need to worry about there either. Fox is looking good. I expect a good game from him. I think Butler's going to have a good game. Wemby's obviously Wemby. You can look at Curry because of Curry's last game, but Curry to me is not somebody that I'm too. He's not very consistent, so I don't play too much Curry. But anyways, guys, for that game, I'm gonna run with Spurs. We'll do a little recap of what I think, man. So I got Knicks winning. I want to take Sixers if Cade sits, but Sixers at plus 200, even if Cade plays, is a good value in my opinion. So I'm just going to say Sixers, but if Cade plays, the Pistons probably win. I'm just saying that. But anyways, I'll just put Sixers as my pick. I'm going to go with the Rockets. I'm going to go with the T-Wolves. I'm going to go with the Spurs. And this game I'll fade unless AD plays. If AD plays, I'm going with the Mavericks. So that's what I got. If you want to run any of those, obviously you can run spreads. You can put parlays together. You can do whatever you want. But that's what I got for this slate. Jumping into the player props on the slate, guys. The first one that I have, I told you guys from the Knicks already. OG and Anunoby. We are taking him over 6.5 rebounds and assists. His original line is 7.5. You can get him at 6.5 or 1.5 or 1.6x. Very good value. He has cashed just 8 of 11 games on the season. If you look at Miami's RA defense, they give up a lot of rebounds and they give up a lot of assists. Bottom 10 in both categories defensively. If you go to you can look at the lineup here. You can see where Anunoby, they have him starting small forward right now, small forward position and power forward position. They give up a decent amount of stats. To the guard position, they give up a lot of stats. So this Miami team gives up a lot to the guards, a little bit to this power forward, small forward, a little bit to the center, decent amount overall. So I like Anunoby in this matchup, man. If you look at him last season, he cashed at 52% of games. We go to games without Brunson. He cashed at 9 of 16 games last season without Brunson, which is right at a 56% hit rate. He averaged 8 RA in those games. Now, let's look at his head-to-head data versus Miami. Versus Miami, he has cashed his 2 of 4 games. He had 14 in one game. The only game this season, he had 7. That was back on the 26th. But this season, man, he's dominated. Brunson's been in every single game, I'm pretty sure. He may have set one game. Let me see. Yeah, he's played every single game this season, so... take out Brunson, obviously he gets a lot more usage here. Anunoby, his assist line might go down slightly, depending on he doesn't have Brunson to assist to or anything like that, but he does have more usage here, and I like his line at 6.5 today. So you could get it on parlay play. I'm pretty sure I have Anunoby pulled. Well, I had him pulled up. I think I just canceled it out with Sabonis, but so yes, parlay play pulled his 6.5 line while I was looking at the slip. So they didn't bring it back up yet. It should come on the board. Prizepicks has it on the board. You can go to RA here. We can find Anunoby from the first couple of games. Should be here pretty soon. Where we at? OG Anunoby. So, yeah, you can get him on Prizepicks at 6.5. I'm not touching 7.5. 6.5 is a great line in my opinion. You play that with a regular line, you're still going to get a 2.75x. So that's almost a normal payout. 6.5 for Anunoby is a great line. That's what I'm going to be playing, and that's what I recommend you guys take as well, unless you want to go lower. You could go lower. I wouldn't take the 7.5. He can definitely cash 7.5, but it's definitely going to be more risky. So Anunoby, who am I going to pair him with? My pairs, I have 2. Well, I have 3 potential pairs, obviously. Got 4 picks total for the player props. But I'm going to let you guys kind of decide what you want. Going forward on these parlay play slates, I'm going to be very, 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 very picky with the discounts. Because I have been getting baited by parlay play discounts, and some of them miss, some of them not be good. And like yesterday, I got baited by RJ Barrett. The only reason RJ Barrett was a free pick is because I was looking at the Toronto plays. I was like, Barrett or Ingram, which one do I like better? Now, granted, I'm pretty sure both of them would have chalked their line. I can't remember exactly what Ingram's line was, but Barrett was a boosted play. So it made me go ahead and not even look at Ingram anymore. Like, Barrett's a boost, man. You're getting better value. And then Barrett didn't do jack squat. So I'm going to be way more picky with these things. There are some, and I'm going to show you the promos we have for NBA. You got Norman Powell points, Cade Cunningham assists, Sengun rebounds, LaMelo 3 points, and then you got De'Aaron Fox points. So for me, the only one I'm playing, maybe Norman Powell 20 points, probably going to fade it. The only one I'm playing is going to be Sengun rebounds. So Sengun rebounds is 1.43x. I like that a lot. I'm going to show you guys what we got here. So Sengun is going to be the second pick that I'm running on this slate. 7.5 rebounds is a very low number for him. His original line is 9.5, so you're getting a very good value. He's cashed it 8 of 10 games. Cashed it in 7 straight games. He cashed this in 83% of games last season, averaging almost 11 boards. Head-to-head versus Portland, he's cashed it 2 of his last 3 games, averaging almost 10 boards. Dude has been a beast lately. I like his odds here to give us 8 rebounds. To the center position, they give up 12 rebounds per game. Power forward position, they give up 9. So everything looks good for Sengun. Not much really needed to be said about this play. I do like it if you do pair it with Anunoby, which I don't think we can even play it on here. Yeah, 7.5 still. It's not going to change for a while, probably. It will come back up on the board, but for now, we'll just run with Sengun with something else. So who else do I like for this slate? Well, for this slate, I like our man Norman Powell, 24.5 PRA. I've been spamming this same exact prop, and he's cashed me every single time with all these injuries. I'm going to continue to play Norman because Norman Powell has been dominant lately. So 24.5 PRA is a very low line. He's cashed at 8 of 10 games. He's cashed at 8 of 9 games on the season. He's hooked this one game versus Memphis, averaging 31 PRA. You can see the last couple of games, he's had almost 40 PRA. 24.5 is very, very low. Versus this Knicks team, the Knicks have a top 10 defense in almost every category except assists. If you go to the guard position, give up a lot of stats to the shooting guard position, which Norman Powell starts usually. They got obviously Donovan Mitchell. So we got Norman Powell shooting guard. And going against shooting guards, obviously they give up 18th in the league in points, 23rd in rebounds, and then 28th in assists. So a very, very good matchup for our man Norman Powell. If we pull this up on Props Madness, we can come over here to the Heat game versus Miami. We can click Norman Powell, and you can take a look at the shot chart here. He has a pretty good shot chart. He shoots 50% of his shots from behind the arc where he has a green matchup. He shoots another, 45% of his shots in the paint, which is a pretty tough matchup overall, going against the second best defense in the paint. But overall, man, I still like this matchup for Norman Powell. He's going to be needed to score. Him or Wiggins, one is going to be stepping it up tonight, in my opinion. And I do like this play for him at 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, if you play his points line at 19.5, you get a 1.4x. If you play his PRA at 24.5, you get a 1.32x. So it's a slightly worse value playing his PRA over his boosted points line. But I like his PRA line better than the boosted points line, personally. So that's what I'm going to run. This is a 1.9x right here. If you play 250 wins you 472. Payout's not super, super high. The third pick that I had on the slate that I was going to run, or the fourth pick, I mean, is going to be for our man Tyrese Maxey. We're going to be running Maxey here. Told you guys I think this game stays competitive. Maxey's putting up a lot of three-point attempts. You can get his three-point made prop right now at 2.5. That's 2 points made. Okay, I was about to say 3 points made at 2.5. He has cashed this in 10 of 11 games on the season. He's averaging 4 per game. You can look at his 3 points attempted. He's averaging 9 3 points attempted per game. He has a high this season so far of 12. That was versus the Pistons. Playing against the Pistons again tonight. If you look at his head-to-head data versus the Pistons, he's cashed it in 3 straight games. 3 of his last 4, he's had 4 or more 3 points per game, and he's averaging 10.5 3 points made. He can hit 3 of 10 threes. It can happen any game for Maxey. Maxey can pop off at any point in time. He can shoot 14 threes for all we know tonight. He's definitely got a good chance here to cash. I like this matchup for him. We can come over here to Tyrese and take a look at him on the scoring chart here. We can look at this right here, Maxey. You can look at the three-point. He's got a yellow three-point matchup, but he shoots 49% of his shots there. So going against middle of the pack, from the corner threes, they have a weak defense. Overall, this should be a decent matchup for Maxey. He's going to put up the three-point attempts, especially with potentially no Edgecombe. There is no Joel Embiid. There's no Paul George. McCain might step it up a little bit, but Maxey's going to be their main go-to guy, especially if VJ sits. So that's what I like here. Like Maxey here for 2.5 threes. We can run it in a 3-man if you wanted to. Maxey, 2.5 3 points made is a 1.3x as well. You can run these together, and you got 2.5x. 250 does end up winning you 640. So what am I going to do here? That's tough, man, because I was going to run one with Anunoby and then one with Sengun. That's what I was going to do here, or run these two together. Yeah, Anunoby was a higher payout, so I was going to run one with Anunoby, one with Sengun. I guess I will run – that would be a game stack, the Heat versus the Knicks. All right, here's my logic behind what I'm about to do. If somehow the Knicks Heat game becomes a blowout, it would chalk 2 slips most likely if I play these on separate slips. If we game stack this and the game stays competitive, more than likely they both cash, in my opinion. I think they both cash, even potentially in a blowout they cash. But regardless, man, putting Norman with Anunoby would be the better move here, in my opinion. And you play these on a separate slip. This is a 1.86x. I'm going to lock that in. That's what I'm going to do. If we play Anunoby with Norman Powell, we can check the PRA line on Prizepicks and see what he would pay out. So let's just do this. Let's Norman. PRA. Now, even at 23.5, you got a 2.25x. Crazy good. That's points and assists. What am I looking at? Oops. PRA. All right. 24.5. You have a double up here because you could run on Prizepicks. So I like that better. Yeah, I think that's what I would do here. That way, if, like I said, the potential of a blowout happens, then, which anything can happen in the National Blowout Association, the NBA. You guys know that already. So if something does happen, this game should stay competitive. But if it doesn't, then we only chalk 1 slip from a blowout rather than potentially missing 2. So that's what I got, guys. I got $250 on Maxey and Sengun if you want to lock it in. And then I'm going to be running this slip. I'll probably just go ahead and run it on Prizepicks since Anunoby is, I'll check one more time. We'll refresh just to make sure he's still not available. But more than likely, he's still not available. Yeah, 7.5 RA. I'm not touching that one. I'm going to go with the 6.5. I think I like that value way better. But that's what I got for today, guys. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. I hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hopefully, you cash every single slip. If you ain't not in the Discord, join it. We'd love to have you guys in there. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.